Okay.
Can I use the restroom, please?
Yeah. So we've got angle bisector. If I'm going to give you an angle, I know that it looks like RST, but it could be anything, right? So I want you guys to give me 3 letters, just any 3 letters.
ADS. ADS.
ADS.
Wow.
Okay. Do you want it in the angle ADS? Is that how you want it? Angle ADS. Is that cool? Okay. So if I do ADS, that means I need to make sure that I have ADS. So that the angle is created at D. Okay? Anytime we say angle ADS, we're saying ADS. Does that make sense? So that the angle is created at the center, the middle letter. Okay? Now, if I have another variable or another letter, give me another letter. I. I'm going to say that DI, right? DI is an angle bisect, so it bisects ADS, angle ADS. Okay? So the ray DI bisects angle ADS. Okay? And so now what that tells me is it cuts this in half. What does that mean? They're equal. That's right. So these are congruent. This is congruent to this. Whether it looks like it or not, I now know that it is. And that's huge. Okay? Because what you'll usually find right after they say these two things, right, is that they'll say that angle ADI is equal to 3x plus 2. Okay? And then they'll say angle IDS is equal to, I don't know, 4x doesn't really matter as long as it's, well, it does. 4x minus 10.
So we can make up whatever we want.
Well, if you notice I changed it from plus, we kind of have to do the math in your head. You can make it whatever you want. It might come up as a negative. That kind of is weird. It's only going to give you a negative angle. Right now, you don't really know what a negative angle is. You will next semester. All a negative angle means is that it goes in this direction versus this direction. And we will learn that later. Okay? So, yes, technically, you can give it anything you want. And it will come up as a negative angle, and that's okay. All right. But I want to try to keep it positive for right now until we get to second semester. So this should keep it positive if I did everything right in my head, and if I didn't, sorry. That happens a lot, right? So now I need to start working the problem. So this is a given, right? This was a given. This was a given. But I do know one thing. I do know that angle ADI is congruent to angle IDS. And why do I know that? What lets me know that? Why are these two congruent?
Because of the little bracket thing.
Oh, well, I made those though, right? But yes, because of these bracket thingies. But what enabled me to say this? You remember? That's right, because it's a bisector. So, definition of angle bisector. Okay? Because this is an angle bisector, these are congruent. That's it. Definition of angle bisector. Okay? Now, I can plug in, right? ADI, well that's 3x plus 2. Okay? And IDS, well that's 4x minus 10. Now later on in chapter 3, we're going to have to do a step here. Say that this is the same as the measure and all that stuff. But for right now, I'm not worried about doing a perfect proof. Okay? We're just doing small and getting ready to do proofs. So what did I do here? I plugged it in, right? What's that called?
Substitution.
Yeah, substitution. Right? So, substitution. Okay? Now I just do the math. What math do I have to do? What would I do first?
Simplification.
I'm going to move my x's, right? I gotta get the x's on the same side.
Subtraction equality.
Good. Subtraction, property of equality, which is, I'm going to subtract 3x and subtract 3x. Right? From both sides. This cancels, so I get 2 equals x minus 10. And that's, again, subtraction property of equality. Okay? And that's, remember what we call that back in, we call that transition. Or I call it transition. Back in algebra. You know? Get the x's to one side. Okay? What's now? What do we do now?
Add the 10.
Add the 10. Yeah. So I got to get the x alone. Okay? So I got to add the 10. So I get 12 is equal to x. And what did I do to do that? Good. Addition property of equality. And that's it. Now, do I know? Now, a lot of times they're going to ask you what an angle is, right? So, what if they ask you what ADI equals, right? How am I going to figure that out?
Plug in 12.
Yeah. So, I'm going to take ADI and say angle ADI is equal to 3x plus 2. But instead of the 3x, what am I going to write? Parentheses. Very good. And in the parentheses, I add the 12. See how the colors let you know what you did? What's this called? When you plug in something.
Substitution.
That's right. Okay? And so, what am I going to do now? What do I do with that? Simplify. Yeah, exactly. Simplify. I just multiply 3 times 12, which is
48.
48. And 48 plus, or is it 48? No, 36, isn't it?
Yeah, 36.
There we go. 36 plus 2 is 38. Okay? So I just said angle ADI is equal to 38 degrees. Okay? And that's it. And that's how you do that.